Hi everyone, happy holidays! Today we are talking about books that I am giving away as gifts to people that I really like. So basically, there are a lot of books that I have. However, I've decided that if I'm not going to reread the book, then what's the point in really keeping it? And giving away books that you have as a gift is also a really great way to save money because you don't have to buy another copy of the book. You could just give the book copy you have to that person you really want to give a gift to. So, first of all, the Book of Heaven. I think it's a really great book if you are into I like it, but I would never read it again because I just didn't really, vibe with it as much as I do with other angel books and heaven books. So I will give the book to somebody who really enjoys this topic. Also, this is probably a really unpopular opinion, but The Power of Myth, I read it and I didn't really vibe with it. I'm so confused because I've only ever heard good things about this book. I literally have been told before many times to read this book. So I finally get it. I read it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll give it to somebody who I know will probably really enjoy it. Because if I keep it, it's just going to, sit on a shelf. But next up, Encyclopedia of the Unseen World. I really do love this book. I think it's a really great book for people who are interested in getting started with learning about the other side, heaven, ghosts, spirits, weird, mystical stuff, magical stuff, paranormal things. It's a really great book to get started with. I think this was one of the first books I actually purchased for learning about the other side, And when I first got it, I used it a lot. I really did. But at this point, because I've gathered new books that I love a lot more, I just wouldn't see myself reading this book again because I have since then found better books that I enjoy a lot more. But this book is a really great book. The Daily Life of Greek Gods. I think it's a really interesting book, and I think it's a great book, actually, but I just don't see myself reading it again. I don't really want to read it again either, so A Dictionary of Angels, including the Fallen Angels. This is a good book. Every book on here is a great book of some sorts. But just because a book is great, and maybe you once thought it was great at some time of your life, doesn't mean you'll always think it's great, Opinions could change. Because since I've got this book, I have other angel books that I prefer over this one, And I do know quite a few people who love angels a lot, so if they are interested in angels, then why not give them the book? Folklore and Symbolism of Flowers, Plants, and Trees. This book is really, really interesting for getting into folklore of, obviously, flowers, plants, and trees. And I did think it was really great at some point, and I still do. But I think that after reading it and getting into folklore regarding different, plants and all that, it's not something that I really enjoy anymore because I just prefer other mythology stuff, other folklore things, and all that. So hopefully the person who gets this book really loves it. Reading this book, I did learn a lot of new information, but personally, I wouldn't read it again. Surprisingly, maybe this is a surprise, but I am probably going to be giving away my ancient Rome book as well as my ancient Greece book because since I read them, I don't vibe with them. I really did at first, but since I gave them another read, I'm like, why do I have these? Because I prefer ancient mythology over ancient history 100%. And because the ancient Greece and ancient Rome book are pretty large, I would rather just take it out of my collection and give it to somebody who will use it because I'm never going to look at these again. Honestly, I have pocket guides of ancient history and I love those a lot more than this book as well as the ancient Greece book, ancient Rome book. It's They are amazing books, but I just prefer the mythology a lot more than the ancient history. I also want to give away the meaning of myth because I don't vibe with it like I used to. Like when I first got it, I was like really stunned at it. I was like, wow, this is amazing, but opinions change. I don't think I would ever reread it. A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy. I got this book thinking it would really help me, but instead, like, some of the advice that's in it for, I guess, like, having a better life, being happier, yeah, I didn't really vibe with it, but I could think of people who it would really help, because some advice doesn't work for everybody, but for others it does, so I would rather just give the book to somebody who I know for a fact would really benefit with it. Pandora's Jar, Women in Greek Myths. I really did love it at first, but after like rereading it, I just didn't really think I could get back into it. Like, there are books that I've literally read 10 times in a row. So, when I have to actually kind of force myself to reread the book a second time, like maybe the book just isn't meant for me anymore. So I feel kind of bad giving this book away because I do want to reread it, but then there's times where I try to reread it and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not into it. Like, it's great, and I think it's an amazing book for people who love Halloween, like I do. But personally, I have a much more fun time during Halloween reading other books regarding spooky topics. But thankfully, I do know somebody who is obsessed with Halloween. Like, they want to celebrate it all year. So I'll just, like, give them the book. As well as Evil Archaeology, Demons, Possessions, and Sinister Relics. It's an amazing book. Like, I can't stress that enough. Every book on this list is amazing in some way. But trying to reread this book, I just didn't vibe with it. Like, it's a great book, but I just don't want to reread it because I read it once, I got the info I needed, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing more I could take from it. I also want to give away Astrology 101 because since buying and reading this book, I have found other astrology books that I think I actually prefer over this one. This book is also really, really in depth to the point where, for me, it's just too much information. Like, astrology is kind of a difficult topic to understand to begin with. So, although I do appreciate the in depth, like, information, sometimes it's just better to have it more summarized so people could, I guess, learn it better. But to be fair, like, I treat astrology very casually. I don't really use it for a lot of things anyway. So it's better I just give this book to somebody who does obsess over astrology. I also want to give away Crystals for Beginners because I have taken all information that I pretty much need from it. Like, there's nothing more in this book that I could reread because all the info that I need, I have. Like, I learned what I had to learn. I'm done. Like, I learned what I had to. Like, I gathered the information that I needed about crystals and what I could do with crystals and how to use crystals. I know the information. I don't need a book to tell me what to do anymore because I know it. So, because I'm done with the book, I will give it to somebody who really wants to get started with crystals. I also would like to give away the Encyclopedia of Mythology because this author has a much better mythology book that I do have. So I rather just use that book instead of this one anymore. But yeah, that is all the books that I want to give away. I hope all of this made sense. Like, just making it very, very clear because I'm so paranoid of offending authors and writers and all that. These are amazing books. Like, they're really, really great. Like, I love them. But once you're done with a book, if you can't reread it or if you have all the info that you needed from the book, then it's just best to give away the book. If I had a lot of space on my shelves, I probably would keep them. But as a person who has a very tiny amount of space to deal with, I just try to keep the books that I know for a fact I'll reread. Books that I know for a fact that I love and would never want to give away. It just is what it is. But also, as a person on a budget, giving away books that I've already bought is like a really great way to save money, as well as share the knowledge with people. So, yeah, That's that. I hope everybody has a really great holiday. Bye.